Hey everyone, so today on one of my only days off from work, I decided to get caught up in all things Twitter and YouTube. And I'm now familiar with much of these crazy allegations that Katie Joy's making. Wow. Anyways, this one I'm going to address now because I had the information right there. Like, I didn't even do my hair yet, whatever, I don't care. I want to just get this done, get it out, and cover it because, well, I do like to correct false information when I see it out there or hear it out there. And let's be honest, it does kind of drive her nuts, doesn't it? Like, have you seen her Twitter today? Like, holy shit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know whether she's like in love with me or she wants to murder me because I think it might be one of the two. She's that freaking up my ass, it seems. So this video here will be covering the following clip from Kay Baxter's live stream the other night. Yeah.
Someone asked what Aaron was involved in this. So we got a bunch of threats. And the only person that's literally ever responded to one of these threats was Aaron. And it's because they're spoofed and they're not real emails. And she started going off like she was speaking. The email was supposed to come from me, right? But she was speaking to someone in a third person that was not me in the reply. And then she replied again. And literally, she's the only person that's ever responded. So it was weird when that happened. And she was like calling me all of these names. And like, it didn't make sense because I never even saw the first email. So why I was even in the string. And I had to like respond to her at one point and be like, Aaron, this isn't from me, and she just kept going. Like, it felt like she forgot.
Yeah, I didn't forget. I just didn't know. See, I didn't really know much about spoofing emails or any of this shit with emails before any of this happened. In fact, it was right here in the beginning because the email in which she's talking about was the second email I ever received out of all this nonsense. So back then, I really didn't know anything. It was like the following days after this, like the next week or two after this happened, that I really learned a lot between my own finding things online, my own reading, and also my son teaching me things. And in fact, the day after I received this second email, I did a live stream and I even discussed this on that live stream, which I will be playing for that for you in a little bit here. But first, I'm going to cover the emails that she's talking about. Okay, this is the second email I ever received. And this is the one in which this emailing thread in which she's talking about it comes up under. So this email here starts off with, knew we could count on you to post them. It's never been Katie. About time people realize these people in your stream and Twitter sending threats are just trolls looking for attention. Salts knows this. My bet's on Natalie, and we know others agree. Okay, now I want to point out too that on these emails that I was receiving, they would oftentimes tag like Nat, Salts, and or Katie in almost all the emails. So this was not something I quite noticed at the very beginning. I don't know why they did this, but they did. So at the same time, though, when I received the second email, Nat had emailed me as well. And Nat emails me with, hi, I'd recommend putting any messages like the ones we received with your email attached in a separate folder, because if they're anything like ours, it'll just get worse. They're not from her, pretty obviously, meaning Katie. However, personally, we believe she has involvement due to the contents in some. You got a polite one. We got one that swears with grammar errors and spelling mistakes in 2 minutes before yours. However, we didn't see it until this evening. Same email used. They're being investigated by the police. We've had around 300 in total. Death threats mainly. You do adapt eventually. Although now and again they do test you. I suppose more triggering to us, a Kit Kat knows us well. Hope you are doing okay. We heard your stream was interrupted by certain people, and that's completely unacceptable. We are awaiting screenshots to be sent to us, as we believe one stated about a letter, and will identify the person responsible. We got a video last night, and it triggered us, so Nat's out of our body at present. We know the community has questions, and we'd like to answer. At present, our safety is more important. At some point, though, if you had questions, we are told you are trustworthy to answer to. We know of Tina through Katie. Irregardless, that annoys me. Irregardless of her, we don't know you speech Irregardless of her we don't know you speech, we have proof we've known her for years, but now is not the time. We speak to Katie, i.e., Little Miss Noble, often, and Michael Saltz, Sue M., who can verify who we are. Take care of yourself. Evelyn, Natalie's protector. And as you can see, on that same date, March 27th, is when I did reply to one of these spoofed emails. This is something that was sent to Katie, but you can tell I obviously do not think I was sending it to Katie, because I go on to state, I'm going to publicly post everything that comes my way in a malicious manner, because secrecy is how evil sees win. I don't really care what you're saying or for why you're saying it or even who you are. It is pretty dumb of you, though, to send me shit in hopes of me posting it since, like you said, I have a minute amount of followers. If you have an end goal in mind, you might want to get better at reaching it, because at this pace, both the turtle and the hare will die of old age before you get within sight of the finish line. Okay, now this email, I'm responding to Nat's email. And this one I say, I'm saving them all already, including the comments left in the chat last night and comment section. I honestly do not care about getting these. I have been through shit like this a couple dozen times by now, and it's just another day. Don't get me wrong, I don't wish to encourage messages like this, but I honestly don't worry about them or give them much energy. If anything, they are entertaining enough just to pass the time. I will continue to post it all publicly, because maybe someone can spot something and out the person sending this shit, or maybe they'll out themselves. I don't know. But like I said, keeping this shit quiet only enables evil seas. Take care and be safe, Aaron. Now, when I responded to Nat here, because of how we were all tagged in these emails, I thought I was responding to Nat, but it turns out I was responding to one of these emails, because I received one right after another on the 27th, and I having all the same names in the header there, I just don't know. And having all the same names there in the header, I just hit the wrong one. So as you can see, though, because I already read Nat's email, you can see that this is clearly a response to Nat's email. And when Katie says in Kay Baxter's stream there that I'm talking about her in the third person, and she doesn't know what the first email says to know what this was about. This is what the first email said. This is what that was about. Do you see how she sounds freaking crazy now? Now here's the email that Katie mentions in the video of having sent to me. And she sends this here on March 29th. And in this email she says, I have not sent you any emails, FYI. These are all fake and not from me. So please stop contacting me. Okay, that brings us to the live stream I said that I did on March 28th. Take a listen. This one, though, I clicked on I brought this arrow down, and it just was talking about like security, email security and stuff. So it had like a learn more information, whatever. And I clicked that, and I was reading about it a little bit. My son explained some of it to me too, because he's learning about all this shit with his job. And it's, I don't know, it's interesting. I find it all very interesting. Okay, so a quick recap. March 27th there, I get my second email. Not really sure how the whole thing, the spoofing thing and everything works. I respond thinking I'm responding to the sender. Well, my response goes to Katie, because she's also tagged in the emails. Then Nat emails me, so I think I'm responding to Nat. So I send her an email telling her how, yeah, I'm already putting shit away separately. Yeah, okay, I hear you. And that goes to Katie as well. Now, the following day, on the 28th, I do a live stream, and I'm discussing how I'm just now having to learn about this, and I am learning about it, and my son's teaching me some things too. So I clearly don't really know much about the spoofing yet, or really how this whole thing is being set up or how it's working. So now, knowing all this, let's go back and listen to Katie one more time.
Someone asked what Aaron was involved in this, so we got a bunch of threats, and the only person that's literally ever responded to one of these threats was Aaron. And it's because they're spoofed and they're not real emails. And she started going off, like she was speaking.
Going off? How was I going off?
The email was supposed to come from me, right? But she was speaking to someone in a third person that was not.
And she obviously doesn't know what third person is.
Me in the reply. And then she replied again. And literally, she's the only person that's ever responded. So it was weird when that happened, and she was like calling me all of these names. And
was I calling her the turtle or the hare?
And like, it didn't make sense because I never even saw the first email. So why I was even in the string. And I had to like respond to her at one point and be like, Erin, this isn't from me, you know? And she just kept going. Like it felt
I clearly did not keep going.
like she forgot.
Okay, do you see how she just blows it up out of nowhere? I mean, she took my not yet unknowing or understanding spoofing email and thinking that it was somehow going to reply to sender as me coming for her, me calling her all kinds of names where none of this happened. In fact, in one of the emails, I told Nat, who I was responding to stay safe. So she read that as stay safe. And that she thinks I was coming for her. I just kept coming over and over. No, this didn't happen. This is all of the exchange. All of it. I mean, how much longer is she going to do this? How much more is she going to try and spin and try to target us and harass us with? I mean, this is getting a little ridiculous. I mean, at least when we covered her and everything through the past, we used her words, her videos, her posts. She's just making shit up and offering no receipts. Not a freaking receipt is anywhere to be found. Not from her or not from Uni, because they have no receipts. They're receiptless. They're receiptless. They might as well be balls to them, because you know what? Neither one of them got them either. All jokes aside, how much longer are they going to target us with this shit? With the shit that they are probably guilty of?
See, and I think Shins brings up a good point here, and this is why I keep saying it. Waxy keeps saying I'm wrong when I keep saying, so Erin was not involved, and Waxy, you keep saying, no, that's not what she said. But there's no proof, there's no evidence